Hello, my name is Justin Davies and I'm really excited to share with you my new children's book called Haarville. And here it is. It's published by Kelpies. It's got beautiful artwork on the front cover and super shiny gold bits on the spine and the cover. Now, Haarville is a darkly comic mystery adventure set in an isolated, misty and murky seaside town called Haarville, where something smells fishy, and it's not the seafood. So I thought I would share with you a little bit from the end of the first chapter. At the start of the chapter, we meet the main character of my story. He's called Manx Fearty. Manx is an orphan and he owns a perpetual device shop which he runs with his guardian, Father G. And so here we go. The perpetual carriage clock hanging near the entrance chimed 4 times. Manx draped white sheets over the shop's 2 display cabinets, then flicked the sign in the window to closed and locked the door. Where was Father G? 4 o'clock on Saturdays meant fresh pastries from Bombeur's bakery, and Manx had already decided he deserved at least 2 of Madame Bombeur's famous rowanberry jam puffs. If Father G was running late, it meant he'd almost certainly got carried away at 9 stitches, buying up bundles of gull feather boas and yet more mother-of-pearl fripperies, egged on, no doubt, by Betsy Lugstitch. The shop owner's idea of a perfect Saturday afternoon was to charm Father G into purchasing more accessories than he could possibly need for a year of performances as his glamorous drag queen stage character, Gloria in Excelsis. But as long as he'd remembered to stop at the bakery, Manx didn't mind how many feather boas and necklaces his guardian had bought for his show that night. The winkle shell curtain separating the shop from the house jangled in a sudden current of air. Manx darted back behind the counter, through the curtain and into the kitchen in anticipation, but had to swallow down the saliva pooling inside his mouth because Father G was bursting to say something. He'd obviously run all the way back to the shop and was breathing heavily, sweat glistening on his dark brown face and bald head. What's going on? Manx was genuinely concerned that his guardian might pass out, and if he did, there was a chance he'd topple forward into the delicious jam-oozing puffs, which would make them really quite difficult to eat. Here, he said, pulling out a chair. Sit down. It's amazing, stuttered Father G, loosening his purple silk cravat and unbuttoning his shirt collar as he collapsed into the chair. It's incredible. He looked up at Manx. You're never going to believe it. Correct, said Manx. I'll never believe it if you don't tell me what I'm supposed to never believe. I'm sorry, Manx, said Father G, fanning his face with his hand. It's just that this hasn't happened in Haarville since I happened in Haarville. Manx's tummy grumbled. Both boy and stomach were in need of a jam puff, and fast. Is this one of your guessing games? No, said Father G, but if you think I'm excited, you should see the rest of town. Manx sighed, resigning himself to stale pastries. Oh, come on, what's happening? Father G took a deep breath. There are strangers in Haarville. Manx almost toppled over onto the puffs himself. Outsiders, said Father G. 2 of them. They came over the causeway. The causeway? Repeated Manx. Yes, the causeway. The causeway that's so dangerous only a deranged squid searching for a lost tentacle would attempt to cross. There's only one causeway, Manx. Manx felt himself go giddy. He held himself steady against the table. But there's been no outsiders in Haarville since... Since I arrived, said Father G. 40 years ago. And that's the end of chapter 1 of Haarville. And if you'd like to know what happens in the rest of the story, you'll need to read on. I hope you enjoy it. Bye for now.